All right, we are live. Let me get my headsets here. What's going on, family? Going on to the brotherhood. See who we all got. Let's see here. All right, here. Yo, what's going on, family? We already got 5 in the room. What's happening with you? I want you guys to see the little Medellin t-shirt I got out there in Colombia. Man, we got a lot to talk about today, brothers. Pretty much a video on tips before you travel to Medellin, Colombia. Some must knows and a few experiences that I had out there, man. I had a great time, first and foremost. I had a wonderful time in Colombia, bro. I went to Barranquilla, stayed there for a couple of days. You know, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you know I had a few hiccups as far as the COVID-19, tests and everything, but that's over with now. I believe they got rid of the PCR test, so you don't have to worry about that. But it cut my trip short a little bit, so I was able to extend my trip because of it. I extended it for a whole nother week. So I was in Barranquilla for 2 days, and then from Barranquilla, I went to Cartagena for 2 days, and from Cartagena to Medellin for about 2 weeks. Yeah, about two and a half weeks, something like that. And I enjoyed every bit of it. So I'm going to just tell you a few of my experiences, man, out there in Colombia, and some must things that you guys really need to know if you haven't traveled to Colombia before. I know it's a lot of veteran travelers. I know a lot of guys frequent Colombia in the groups and that subscribe to the channel. But it was my first time going out there. I've been to Colombia, but I was in Bogota. So big difference between Bogota and the rest of the country. So first, I want to thank all the veterans. I know it was Veterans Day, I believe, Wednesday or yesterday. So I want to shout out to all the veterans, man. I love, running to veterans. You see a lot of veterans, or you meet a lot of veterans overseas, and they travel. A lot of guys retire overseas. So I want to shout you guys out first, man. Special thanks to you guys. I know you guys dedicated your lives to protecting this country. No matter what we get in return, you sacrifice yourself to be able to protect, this country. So I want to shout out to all the veterans first and foremost. Now let's check into the group. And the group, man, the group has been off the chain. We got about 2,700 members right now. Let's see, we share the screen. Here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna check into the group. There we go. And as you can see, man, the group is always popping. If you haven't joined, make sure you join Blackmentravels. This is how it looks, because there's a few Blackmentravels out here. So check that out right there, blackmentravels.com. Blackmentravels Facebook group. We have about 2,700 members right now. That's a pretty sizable group. Shout out to one of the admins, my brother Cardell Beasley, for giving the updates and the information about the villas, purchasing the villa investments in Sosua. In particular, I believe he's talking about Casa Linda. So shout out to him for that information. And this is what this group is all about. Like I say, I do put a lot of information out on YouTube, but I put most of the vital information out in our private Blackmentravels Facebook group, We're going to scroll down. We see my brother August Hart, my brother Drees out there in Rio in the North Zone, living it up. You know how we do it. I don't know what that is right there. Like it's a one-armed. She bad though. She'll get it. Fuck that. She'll get it. Let's see what we got here. Just a few updates in the group, man. Shout out to my brother Gooch out there. And I'm trying to find another post by my brother Fabian. There you go. My brother Fabian is out there. Let's click on his video. He's out there in Cartagena right now. I know he's loving it. I enjoy Cartagena. as well. Cartagena was cool. It was cool, fellas. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Cartagena is a little expensive. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to move, Cartagena can be not a little expensive. It can be very expensive. Let me fix that right there. There we go. Yeah, it can be a little expensive. Still a very fun time. Unfortunately, I was booed up in Cartagena, so I didn't really get to experience some of the late night activities, out there. We did go by the clock tower. I thought me and the young lady was going to another bar or something, but I'm gonna tell you this about clock tower right now during the COVID situation. Now, the clock tower is where you will see a lot of, your entertainment out there and everything. You got people out there playing music, dancing. It was a little sparse, but when I was out there on a, I believe it's a Tuesday. Yeah, it was on a Tuesday night. Yeah, it was on a Tuesday night. And a matter of fact, it was on a Monday night. I'm sorry. I was out there Tuesday night, and I was out there with a couple of the fellas. But Monday night, I was out there. And I want to say the ratio was about 20-1. I was literally the only guy out there in the clock tower. I got a picture. I should have showed the picture to you guys. So that's one guy, the young lady I was with, who at the time was my girl, not a working girl, just a regular girl. And everybody else was just like, the women were like, just really like on some prayer and shit, right? So instead of us going to another bar, like what we were supposed to do, she whipped us right in the taxi and we headed back to the hotel room. So that was one of my experiences nights in Cartagena. The second night I had more fun. The thing about Cartagena you got to watch is when you're buying drinks and everything, it's actually cheaper to go ahead and buy the bottle when you're in these little Cartagena bars. If it's you, maybe a couple of friends, it's just cheaper to go ahead and just get the whole bottle instead of buying shot per shot. So that's one little tip you have right there, especially if you're in Cartagena. And that's pretty much in a lot of foreign countries, you're going to pretty much buy the bottle in South America. It's a whole lot cheaper. Let's see what we got in the comment section. Las Vegas, I am back, but I will be going back very soon. Charles Jones, Argentina or bust. Hey, man, you got to educate us on Argentina, man. I haven't heard anything about Argentina, but I'm willing to go and really try it out. Good luck on Buenos Aires, Argentina. All the mongering clubs have been shut down. Blacks and hippopotamus are closed. Boy Sorche. Okay, that's one in the comment section. All right. Now, this is not really a tip. This is more or less a common sense is what I'm about to say here, fellas. Let's go to the, here we go. Now, before you travel to any country, all right, make sure you know the exchange rate when it comes to the money. All right. Every country is different. They do theirs in pretty much, millions, 2 million pesos, 10 million pesos, things like $2-3 or something like that. But make sure you know denominations before you travel to these countries, man. You want to definitely do your research. Have your currency exchange calculator on your phone at all times. That's number one. The good thing I do like about Colombia is people are very friendly, very genuine, and for the most part, very honest, so that's the cool thing. But I know some guys I was out there, they was constantly like, oh, hold on, that's not this amount. You got to make sure you get your currency calculator on your cell phone. That's number one. That's one of the tips right there. And that brings us to pretty much doing your research about the overall country, period, before you travel there. You want to, look at the laws of the land. You want to, make sure everything, you meet all those little security protocols and whatnot. Some countries you can bring vape, some you can't. I believe in Colombia you can. But just do some light research. Look at the travel advisory. I know most guys don't look at the travel advisory, but you might want to know what's going on with the country because tourist dollars are very, very important to the majority of countries outside the Western Hemisphere. Even though South America is in the Western Hemisphere, tourist dollars are very important, meaning they're going to always suppress what's going on, out there in, any country. It's not a bad look on the country, but they're going to suppress a lot of the news that would deter tourist dollars, so you want to make sure you go out there, especially with this COVID situation going on. A lot of guys got banged up with the COVID test. I've seen guys got turned around right at the plane, right during boarding, because of the 96-hour rule with the PCR test. Thank God that's over with. But before that, you definitely want to do your research. And then the whole immigration thing that's downloaded to your phone, that's easy. You can do that pretty much an hour before your flight. I didn't see too many people get banged up behind that, but without it, you would have been able, with it already done, filled out, the little immigration app that I told a lot of brothers about, you would have been able to breeze through the line because nobody had it ready. All right. So that's number one. Let's see what we got here. Well, look at the comments. My brother says, appreciate the info. Models and bottles is the way to stay broke. Okay. All right. Charles X Plus. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Hey, man, you got to manage your money accordingly, bro. But you also got to live your life. You can't just work, and pay bills. So money management is very important because, believe it or not, if you live in America, you're going to blow some money one way or the other. Okay. Your car going to break down. You're going to have a baby out of wedlock. It's going to be something. I don't have any children. So that's a big factor in my life. I don't have to pay child support because I know a lot of brothers are banged up with the child support. A lot of brothers are banged up with, being on parole and all that good stuff. So fortunately for me and some other brothers out here, if you don't have any kids, you have a good job, or you live a digital laptop lifestyle, you should be able to travel the world and you actually save money. It's much cheaper to live overseas than it is in the States. Much cheaper. The food, you can eat in Colombia a whole meal, fish, rice, beans, a lot. They put almost everything with what's that? Not guava, but guacamole or something like that. You know what I mean? Agave, whatever, with damn near every meal. So you can eat a full meal for $3 to $4. That's number one. So it's very cheap. The groceries, the food is cheap. It's real food. So it's actually cheaper to live overseas, believe it or not, in some of these countries. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Now, one other tip, fellas, is you want to network with veteran travelers. This is the purpose of the group we have here. This is why I created the group. This group is very helpful. I'm telling you right now. A lot of brothers will post questions to the group. A lot of new travelers. Some guys that's been traveling the world for a while but hasn't been to that certain country. Shout out to, I believe the brother was named Clay, and I believe the other brother from LA was named Jay. I might have the names wrong, man. I'm sorry. We went out a few times. You know how people Facebook names are different than the names they give you. So I think the brothers were named Clay and Jay. We went out to Gusto's. We had a great little time, man. So shout out to those brothers right there. But yeah, if you look at the group, man, you can ask questions. Brothers to answer the questions, no problems. There go my brother Elliot. Shout out to my brother Eli Williamson, by the way. Shout out to that brother, man. I got me and him did a really good interview. I broke it up into 4 parts. I have about 5 videos I'm going to be posting very soon. Back to back. So he gave a great in-depth interview on how brothers can travel overseas and live a laptop lifestyle. Very important interview, guys. When I drop these videos, I want you to share this interview with other brothers because this brother is full of knowledge. Shout out to Eli. We had a good time out there together too. But he's full of knowledge. The cool thing about traveling overseas, man, and getting out your element is meeting brothers that's living the lifestyle that you want to live. All right. That's very, very important, fellas. Okay. I know, as brothers, we kind of have this one-man army mentality, that we can kind of just get on our own. I have it as well sometimes. But I'm going to tell you right now, one thing that really changed my life for the better was listening to older brothers that I looked up to. Okay. Really listening to older brothers, period, because you can learn a lot from a brother that's not doing well, but you can learn a lot from a brother that's doing well as well. Okay. So just listening to older brothers, listen to brothers that, you want to kind of like live the lifestyle they live will really help you. Not only we had our fun in Colombia. Don't get me wrong. We had our fun, in Colombia. But during the day, we talk business, we talk forex, we talk investing. Everybody at the table at some point were investors. I swing trade, so it helps me a lot. In 2020, it's much easier to make money digitally, whether it be through Amazon, drop shipping, whether it be through YouTube, whether it be through some type of e-commerce, whether it be through, day trading, whether it be through forex. When you start networking and you're hanging with these guys overseas, that's for extended amounts of time, 3 to 4 months, they living in Colombia, you're gonna get a lot of game, man, and that's the importance. So this group, I wouldn't have met Eli if it wasn't for the YouTube channel. I don't know if you met me through the YouTube channel or the group. I'm not sure which one first, but the network that we have of 2,700 members is extremely valuable for us. I want you to keep that in mind. I know we kind of joke around in the Facebook group a lot. We show the ladies and all that good stuff, but I want you to keep in mind that when you have a network of close to 3,000 members, also on YouTube, and the cool thing about having the group is, on YouTube, you might be in the comment section, but it's hard to kind of connect with somebody on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult to kind of message the guy that you've been connecting with. Sometimes people don't want you dropping information on the YouTube channel. A lot of guys are private, but with the Facebook group, if somebody asks you questions or you need some knowledge or something, it's easier because all you gotta do is send that guy a message, or the guy might just answer you, period. Oh, shout out to my brother Asuma Abdul for the super chat. It's just easier to connect, and that's what the whole purpose of the group. I had to clean the group up a little bit because we was getting community strikes. I had to kick a few of the guys out because they was a little, just too wild, too antsy, too effeminate. Some dudes don't like to see other brothers win, which is just insane to me. Like, why wouldn't you want to see somebody that look like you winning? That's very strange to me. So once I identify those guys, and a lot of guys will report those guys, we go ahead and get them on out the group, man, because you got some guys that want to just sit back and just be spiteful and just nitpick at every little thing. We get those guys on out the group. So hopefully we got most of the riffraff out, because you got guys that's in the group that just want to just, dry snitch and judge. Listen, man, I don't judge, bro. However you live in your life, you your own man. You live your life the way you want to live your life, brother. I might, give a suggestion or two if I see a guy wilding out overseas a little bit, drinking too much, because I know a lot of guys get excited. I've been excited before, traveling. When I first got to Brazil, I was so excited and happy, hanging with the brother Alan Harper. So, everything worked out well, but sometimes you gotta say, hey man, we're in a foreign country, you gotta stay on your P's and Q's. You gotta live, if you're not getting drunk and partying every night in your own country, don't do it overseas. Live a similar lifestyle that you've been living, as you're overseas, especially if you're for an extended amount of time. Now, we have a pretty big network right now. And I know sometimes, guys, there was a lot of guys over there when I was over there. And I tell guys, I say, hey, man, hopefully we can link up, but I can't party every day. I say, I appreciate it. I come out as much as I can possible, but I need a dry day. You know what I'm saying? Your boy needs a dry day in between days. If I go hard on the weekend, and plus I'm handling business as well. I'm working as I'm traveling. So, I wasn't able to hook up with everybody. Shout out to the brother Kenny. Me and Kenny hooked up for a little moment. Shout out to my travel bro though, Mick. Mick is a private guy. I ain't gonna put his information out there too much, but shout out to him, man. We hung out every day. We got an apartment together. We had a great ass time, bro, in Colombia. Real good time in Colombia, man. The women of Colombia are something else. The Paisa women, hopefully I pronounced that right. The Paisa women, that's like Paisa is like kind of like they little, I guess, tribal heritage or whatnot. Are very beautiful. Colombian women are very beautiful, but they can be, boy, when they get them a good guy, woo, boy, they gonna lock it down, man. And man, the Afro Colombian women, dog, the Afro. Let me show you this little picture of my brother Eli real quick, man. Let me show you my man's real quick. Oh, there you go. He right there. Let me see. I think that's the only. I know he got a few more pictures of her Oh, shout out to my brother Kenny. You see Kenny doing this thing right here. Let me enlarge that real quick. All right, let me read that super chat real quick, man. BMT, insight on DR versus Brazil versus Colombia. And do you work in IT? No, brother, I do not work in IT. I'm in video production. If you don't mind me asking, how are you able to travel so often, brother? Great channel. All right, appreciate that question, man. I have a video production company, brother. We do commercials. We work on different projects with CNN and the Turner Network. Those projects are spread out, time to time. You might not work every day within the month. So because of that, I'm able to do a project and then, travel once I get a project completed. That's one of the ways. Another way I travel so often, man, is if I swing trade, not day trade. I'm sorry. I swing trade stocks on Webull. So that helps out a lot as well, man. That gives me that little extra income that I need. And I make a little money off YouTube. And that's pretty much it, man. Those are my three main hustles right now. And let me tell you something about trading. If you know what you're doing, trading can be extremely profitable, man. Period. Trading can be extremely profitable even during times like this. Okay, now I'm gonna answer the first part of your question. DR versus that's actually Osama Abdul. That's actually can be a video in itself because it's very hard to compare those countries, man. I really love Brazil. I'm gonna say that right there. I really, really enjoy Brazil, brother. But I really love Colombia as well. And I love the DR, so it's hard to compare. But I will say this, man. It's nothing like South America. It's not like the Caribbean, but South America is very relaxing. I didn't want to leave Colombia. Sometimes when I'm in the DR, I'm not saying I'm really ready to go, but, I'll say this about the DR. A week or two is cool for me. I can be in, be out. A lot of the American ways is kind of been shifted down to DR because it's so close. Unfortunately, then you got a lot of New Yorkers going back and forth as far as the New York Dominicans going back and forth to DR, giving Dominicans game, how to hustle the Americans and all that stuff. So right now, if I had a preference, it would be Brazil or Colombia. Those are my staples right there. All right, let me see what my brother Young Jay is saying. Salute, fam. Be back in the DR for New Year's. Young Jay, that's what's up, man. I don't know if you've been in Medellin, brother, but I would love to welcome you or meet you out there in Medellin as well, brother. Colombia is very beautiful. I know DR is going to be off the chain as well for New Year's, but, if you haven't been to Colombia, I think you should check it out. Charles Jones. My next trip is Brazil, learning Portuguese as we speak. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good, brother. Young Jay, hey, brother. My live is okay. Let me see what's going on with that. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Afro-Colombians are very beautiful, brother. They are very, very beautiful. I'm not I'm not lying about that. Very gorgeous, very gorgeous. Okay, Global Paper says, outside of Rio de Janeiro, fala Portuguese muito necessário. Not sure what that means, brother. I guess that's a different dialect of Portuguese. No, King Lou. I'll be back in Medellin soon, though, brother. I will be back in Medellin soon. Most definitely. All right. Young Jay asks, I've heard Spanish is mandatory in Colombia. That's why I haven't gone yet. Is that true? If you in the Poblado area, brother, well, yes, Spanish is mandatory, right? Luckily, my boy speaks a little Spanish. I speak a little broken Spanish. So we was able to move around no problem. But you're going to run into a lot of people in the El Poblado area, and even in the Parque Lleras area that speak a little English. So you'll be able to maneuver, brother. I do suggest you get a few terms down, few phrases down before you go. You got Duolingo, you got Rosetta Stone, you got Lingo Pi. Just getting some flashcards and some note cards. You want to get a few basics down. Gracias, thank you. How you doing? Con gusto, stuff like that. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you want to definitely get a few phrases down to talk to the ladies. So, yeah, you want to get your Spanish down. King Lou, I just spoke about that a little earlier, brother. You do not need a PCR test for Colombia. And my brother say my stream is blurry. I don't know why it's blurry, brother. It looked clear on my part. Now, we're about to say a very important, I'm going to give you a very, very important, necessary tip that's extremely important, because if you don't get this, man, it will ruin your whole entire trip, fellas. Your lodging is very, very important when it comes to Medellin, Colombia. Unfortunately, because of the little situation with the mangoes or whatnot, and maybe it was some situations with some of the tourists and the girls stealing or girls drugging the guys or something, the lodging is very restrictive, meaning that in some cases you can only have one guest, maybe two guests, some no guests, so you want to make sure that you get your lodging correct. All right. And the Airbnb is going to be like a disclaimer. You can take the disclaimers with a grain of salt. You really want to read through everything within your Airbnb. Hotels, some hotels, I'm not going to just give no hotel names, because I've heard some guys, can do whatever in some hotels, and some are very restrictive. So I don't want to get caught up in which hotels to stay in. I pretty much deal with the Airbnbs. So with the Airbnbs, man, you want to read all the fine print when concerning guests, because, I don't know if these guys never heard of Tinder, some of the guys that own these apartments, but you're dating, even if you're just dating a regular female. Like on the last night I was in Medellin, Colombia, I went on a date with a, beautiful Colombian woman, and she couldn't come back to my crib. Okay. Got her tipsy and everything. She was ready to roll. It was my last night there. So, she's like, well, do or die. And I couldn't even bring her back to the crib, because I already had my one registered guest. All right. So you want to make sure that lodging is correct, man. You want to, matter of fact, it's best to go ahead and message the Airbnb owner and say, hey, man, what is your guest policy? All right. The one guest is not going to work. You're going to be out there, man. You're going to be dating. You're going to be having your fun. There's nothing worse than bringing a beautiful female, to the lobby. You thinking you about to do your thing, and she can't get in. And the security can be somewhat disrespectful. Now, I will say this. The male security guards, you know how that works out with, brother on brother interaction, especially the Colombian bro. You're like, hey, bro, I know what, I know what they said, but, just a little, a little few pesos there, brother, in your pocket, that's going to work 9 times out of 10. But the female security guards, they not having that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you see a female security guard, don't even try. So that's one indication right there. I'm going to give a few places you can go. Edificio Oslo is a good spot. That's one of my little spots. You might can find them on Airbnb. Edificio Bourbon, that's an Airbnb out there. You might can find them. Edificio, I believe, means building in Spanish. So Bourbon, like Bourbon Street, you can kind of look for that on Airbnb. And you also have the Provenza lofts. Now the Provenza lofts are somewhat like New Garden. I'm not a big fan of New Garden. If some of my brothers know about the DR, New Garden is like the bachelor dormitory of Sosua right there. Okay, so the Provenza lofts is somewhat like New Garden. Where you can kind of do what you want to do. You can burn, you can bring whoever you want to bring in. There ain't no security. There ain't nobody front desk. You can do whatever you want in those lofts. So that's right up the street from Parque Lleras. It's walking distance. So a lot of brothers go out there and look into or check into the Provenza lofts. The upgrade of that would be, I believe it's called the Haven, which is right around the corner and owned by the same company. You can have guests in there as well. All Haven is a little bit of a higher class than the Provenza loft. So the lodging is very important, man. However you figure it out. Send the Airbnb owner a message and say, hey, man, I'm going to be bringing different guests. They say no parties, but if you do have, a few ladies over, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Have you a little boo. Oh, and I'm going to say this. I don't know if I got my speaker. I ain't got my speaker on me. I'm going to say this. With this, in these Latin countries, you got to have your Bluetooth speaker game on point. They're going to want to dance, bro. I did more dancing than I've ever done in my life, and I can't dance, okay? But when them girls get there, they're going to want to put some reggaeton on, and they're going to want to dance, okay? So get your two-step ready. It's not difficult dancing. I really don't like dancing for the most part, but you're going to have to get your dancing on, bro. So have your Bluetooth speaker ready, too. O'Shea, what's up, my brother O'Shea Duke Jackson? With the Ugandan, I think it's Ugandan shilling, 11,000. What's up, brother? I know she was thick. Not this one. This was more like a lighter Latino Paisa woman. She wasn't super thick, but she had a real nice body, brother. Appreciate the super chat, man. But like I say, I'm telling you, bro. The Afro Latinas. I'm sorry. I know brothers don't get on me about that. The Afro Latinos out there, oh my goodness, bro. They are stunning. They are very stunning, bro. My brother Charles Jones. All right, now I'm not going to agree with that, Charles Jones. The music is good, brother. I like the music. I enjoy the music out there. All I'm saying is, they go. It's nice though. You have beautiful women dancing for you and everything. You think it's a damn near strip club up in that joint. It's a very beautiful situation. But they're gonna want you to dance too. I mean, they be dancing, brothers. They be dancing. Jay Clyde, what's up, brother? Salute. Brother say reggaeton trap. Go over paper, Brazil or die. For sure, brother. For sure. All right, now. If it's your first time out there going to Medellin, Colombia, this was our routine. This was me and my boy Mick routine. We would hit up Hooters, during the day, maybe about 4 or 5 o'clock, hit up Hooters. Hooters is nice, okay? The women are very beautiful in Hooters. The wings are good. They taste a little different than the wings in the States, but they're still very good. The prices are very reasonable. Not as much as high as American prices, maybe just a tad bit lower because they know tourists is going to be in there. But Hooters is where you can watch, your football games, your basketball games. ESPN is on. You got to run into a lot of American brothers. So look at Hooters like a, shout out to Greg. I ain't gonna say it's like flip flop, but look at Hooters like if you out there solo, Hooters can be like a staple point to start your day because you're gonna run into other American brothers. Okay. White guys, black guys, Asian guys, a lot of American guys are going to frequent Hooters between the hours of, I'm going to say, anywhere from about 3 to 11, 3 to 10. You're going to be hanging out in there. Some of the girls speak a little English, not much, but how Hooters in the States, you can't really, I ain't going to say you can't holler at the girls, but, in the Colombia, you can, put it that way. And they're fucking gorgeous. They're very pretty far away. So Hooters would be my first little staple point if you want to run into other American brothers, okay? After Hooters, I would suggest going to a little small bar called Donde Su Madre, okay? Donde Su Madre. I believe that's Where's My Mother or something like that. Yeah, I believe it's Where's My Mother. Donde Su Madre is not directly in that little park area. I mean, it is, but it's a little bit down the street. Excuse me. It's like a little small little bar. The owner is very nice. Her name escapes me right now. She lets you put your music on the laptop and everything. It's a good vibe. Now, fellas, this is the key about Parque Lleras. This is what I found out about this. It's not like Sosua, right? Okay. You know how in Sosua, in that general area, everything is going right. Everything is what it is in that general area of Sosua. Parque Lleras is a little different. Okay, fellas. Parque Lleras. Okay, yeah. Hold on. I got you, brother. Let me drop the link. I got a brother who want to come on. Parque Lleras is a little different, fellas. Reason being, you have regular girls and you have the girls or the ladies of the night. And it's very strange, because it's a mixture. You're going to know who's who, because if they staring at you, choosing on you super hard, you already know what it is. Interesting enough, you're going to get chose by regular girls as well. And it could be a little awkward because it's been a few times I was like, listen, what's going on? As a matter of fact, I pulled a regular girl, at the top of Parque Lleras, went back to the spot, and I'm thinking that it's about to go down, and she's just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, she's like, "Motherfucker, I'm not that." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So how's your day?" So you gotta be careful with that. All right. You'll know in most instances, but I'm gonna say this: at like the top, I don't know how to do the geographics here, fellas, so it escapes me a little bit. But in certain sections, I'm gonna say like maybe like the top half of Parque Lleras, you're gonna see more of like the regular girls. You can have kind of interact. It's gonna be certain clubs and bars where it's not gonna be, for the most part, working girls. They're mixing in, which is kind of difficult, but you should be able to kind of figure it out, at some point, which is cool. It's cool because it forces you to interact a little bit more with these beautiful women. So that's another thing about Parque Lleras. You're gonna have certain. It's a mix. All right, you're gonna have girls that are ladies of the night, but you're gonna have a lot of regular girls mixed in. Now, if you go into Gustos, if you go into Lleras Park, those are all ladies of the night. So no frets on that. But if you just stepping into these other little sidebars, these other little small little restaurants, fellas, you get a chance to meet a regular girl. And let me tell you something, man. It's very easy to interact with these Colombian women. They're very approachable. It's funny because they say chocolate. They love to say chocolate. And, I ain't gonna refer to another brother as chocolate, but I'm just telling you, that's what they kind of refer to us as, chocolate, beautiful chocolate. So, be aware of that as well. All right, let me see if I can get my brother on, man. We've been flowing for a while here. All right, brother, I just dropped the link in the chat. You should be able to click on that link and we'll get this thing popping. All right. My brother Young Jay says, what are the key indicators from a regular chick to a chopper to working girls? The key indicator is money. Okay. I want to bring you on in a second, Mick. The key indicator is money, man. How fast. There we go. What's going on, brother? Can you hear me? Hey, put your headphones in, brother. Put your headphones in. You got some headphones?
Yeah, I got some headphones.
Yeah, put them in right because we got a little background noise. All right. While he's doing that, I'm gonna put him on mute. My brother Jay Clyde said he's headed to Colombia tomorrow. That's what's up. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, fellas. Black Rock, I'm gonna tell you, brother. You're gonna be in a store, right? You're gonna be in a store or something, and the women just gonna be staring at you. When you in your just basic daily interactions, right? You're exotic. I want you to imagine you in the grocery store and you see that thick Asian woman, with long curly hair and green eyes. You're gonna stare, right? So you the exotic one out there in at least Medellin, Colombia, right? I asked the Colombian guy that was with me and Eli, my brother Mauricio. I said, "Man, do they think I'm stealing or something?" Because I'm thinking like, when the brother's in the store and you just constantly getting stared at in America, it's like, damn, you think I'm stealing? And he was like, nah, man, no, man, they see a guy, a chocolate guy, they interested, man. And I'm like, okay, chocolate, okay, I guess we could roll with that. But yo, let me get my brother Mick on. Mick will tell you. Mick, what's up, brother? You there?
Hey, what's up?
You know what it is? I think it's your TV. You got your TV on?
No, I don't have the TV on. I'm just hearing double.
You're hearing double. Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you watching me on YouTube?
Let me turn off the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be what it is. I don't know where that background was coming from, brother.
All right.
Much better. What's going on, brother?
All right, man. Hey, you guys got to forgive me. This is my first time.
It's all good. Hey, I want to welcome to the show my travel brother, my travel compadre, brother. Oh boy, Absolutely. Mick. What's going on, Mick?
Hey, good times. All I can say was good times. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, Colombia, man. I'm mad at myself because I put that place off for so long. Mm-hmm. I'm finally glad I got a slice of Colombia, and I encourage every brother, hey, go get you a slice of Colombia. It's everything, you know what I'm saying? It's everything. But I will be returning.
Right. And man, we had such a good time. We got so much to talk about, brother.
Yeah, we had a great time despite the little hiccups here and there. Mm-hmm. But when it's your first time going to a place, you can anticipate a couple of hiccups here and there. But hey, that didn't slow our stride. Hey, we just maneuvered,
Yeah.
And a good thing about it, man, we're able to meet other brothers that was down there that could, help us along the way as well. It's just a communal thing. That's a beautiful thing when you go to other countries, man. You could, travel, meet other brothers, like-minded, help you navigate and move on, enjoy and still enjoy your time.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. The brother LK, real quick, he says it's native Morenos in Colombia. I don't get it.
It depends on what part of Colombia.
Right.
You definitely on the coastal, you're gonna have a lot of Morenos, dark-skinned Colombians, Barranquilla, Cali, places like that. You have a darker, the dark Colombians. But like you said earlier, there was some Afro-Colombians in Medellin.
Mm-hmm.
Not in abundance, but they were there.
Right, they were there. And the thing is, man, even though they are, blacks in Medellin, man, we still look just a tad bit different. We dress a little different. And I guess we are in more of them ritzy areas where they don't see too many blacks there. So
that's another situation. Yeah, you're gonna stick out like a superstar once you're out there. They're gonna notice, like, hey, you're different.
Mm-hmm.
You're not from here, and then they're gonna eye you in a good way.
Yeah, right. But wasn't it strange? Was it a little strange to you at first when we were in the grocery store and we just getting stared at? We just like, damn.
Yeah, it's definitely like like you felt like a superstar. Like, okay, all eyes on me, But it wasn't like that suspicious kind of like it was more like curiosity stare,
Mm-hmm.
So they're really curious to like who we were.
Yeah, man. And what do you think about they might have heard it from me a little earlier, but what do you think about the Colombian women? Just what's your first thoughts about them?
First off the bat, and just a little backdrop on me, but I've been to Brazil and I've been to DR. And right off the bat, I can tell you much. The women in Colombia are very friendly and approachable, and they're just genuine. You know, I know a lot of people here like, hey, you know, they get their jobs done with their body. You know, yes, they do have some work done, but then, you know, what people don't fail to mention is that there are Colombians who have are naturally endowed.
Hmm.
They didn't need the body work. So it was a mixture of those who you can see got the work done, and a mixture of those who are naturally women who are naturally endowed. So I just want to kind of demystify that only Colombia, you know, a lot of Colombian women have jobs done.
Right. That's very true, man.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what the situations because we had so many situations, good
So
situations.
you know, I can't even see the chat on here. I guess I have to sign up, but you know, anyway,
Yeah.
I wish I could see the chat what some of the brothers are saying.
What you can do is, man, you can pull up the YouTube and just put it on mute. That way you can see the chat.
Got it.
Gustos, if you go into Lleras Park. Yeah, there you go. So,
got it.
No frets on that. But if you just
all right
into these other little sidebars.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm okay.
So, man, I know you've been to the Dominican Republic a few times. We don't really want to compare it, but we want to give brothers just a little bit of a difference because there is no beach in the Medellin. You're moving a little different. It takes, if you're used to hitting the beach all day and drinking all day, it's a little different in Medellin, right?
Right, because you have to understand that Medellin is a city,
right?
And like well, you know, DR, of course, you have Santo Domingo, which is a city, but compared to Sosúa, which is a beach area resort, you have to maneuver differently because Medellin is a large city. You know, you have your suburbs, you have your poor areas, you have your downtown. It's very different from Santo Domingo as well. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's what I mean. That's the difference. I noticed that Medellin, you are going to have to maneuver as though you in the city. Oh, I do remember somebody had asked a question about how is Tinder. Definitely, I recommend Tinder.
Tinder is good, fellas.
Tinder. I mean, you do have to pipe. I mean, I do recommend you to pipeline. You don't necessarily have to pipeline when you go to Colombia before you Colombia, but hey, it's better to overdo it than underdo it. I see some success like with Tinder, and yeah, they're ready to meet you and become friends.
Right. And you speak a little Spanish. What would you suggest for brothers that don't speak any Spanish?
Oh wow. Yeah, even my Spanish is mediocre, but I know enough to kind of negotiate and maneuver. But for those who don't know any, I wouldn't be intimidated. Just use the Google Translate, and a lot of them are prepared with that as well. A lot of the women are prepared. They have that app as well to have Google Translate. But I do know this. Their Spanish out there is a lot cleaner than Caribbean Spanish.
They speak clear, and they speak a little bit slower. Okay. And the people in general, are nice, right, bro? Like they pretty nice.
And yeah, just to and you and I we're comparing this to our experience in Sosúa, right?
Right.
Just to give your audience some kind of context. As far as when you're in Sosúa, you're dealing with the hustle and bustle, especially with the cab people in DR. It's just you don't have to worry about that when you're in Colombia. People are just friendly. I mean, it's not a hustle game as you would experience when you're at the beach of Sosúa.
Right. It's not such a gringo atmosphere.
Right. And and it's not a whole bunch of Pookies and Ray Rays down there in Colombia as well.
Not at all. Not at all. You're not gonna run into any of them. That's the cool
The
thing
weekend,
about that.
no, you won't run into any weekend warriors.
Right, right.
I mean, definitely
about the transportation in Colombia. Transportation is a little, it's not sticky, but we have to tell everybody that Uber is technically illegal, right?
Yeah, from what I've learned, it's not. Oh no, actually, you remember on our way to the airport, the lady was telling us that Uber's only a year old.
Mm-hmm.
It's fairly new, right? So it's still going through some, I guess, some politics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it's not legal yet, but people are still working it, and we have to, if you're down there now, if you do have to take Uber, just sit in the front, so it does not appear like you've been transported through Uber, because I believe we're told that we could get you can get fined if you're caught using Uber, not the driver but the passenger.
Right. So keep that in mind, fellas. You do have we got Cabify and InDriver. So you got Uber, you got Cabify and InDriver. Now I'm gonna say this real quick, fellas. This is another very important tip. I do not take the taxis out there. I avoid taxis at all costs. I will walk past 10 taxis to get to my Uber or my Cabify, whatever it is. Some of the taxi drivers, man, they'll leave it just a bad experience, to you. One of the guys, the taxi driver, he gave the taxi driver cash, and the guy drove off with his change. One taxi driver, I was 3 minutes from my apartment, right? This guy was acting like he couldn't follow a map. All right. He acted like he didn't know where the building was.
Right.
For a 3-minute ride, $20, which is a lot of money out there in Colombia, bro. Okay. That's the equivalent of $60 in America or something like that. Okay. He was acting like he was lost. I said, you don't know where this building is at, bro. He passed a turn. He was stopped the whole time. The meter is running. Now, fortunately, I was in a good enough mood. I was having a great time out there, so I didn't trip out on him too much at the end. But I told him, I told him what I knew what he was doing. I'm like, bro, I know what you was doing. You knew where this building was at. You passed it on purpose. Like, why would you stop in mid traffic, pull to the side, acting like you don't know how to read a map, and you a damn taxi driver? So, just if you have to use a taxi, use a taxi. They don't take credit cards or debit cards, which is another thing. So you're going to be pulling out your cash, and you want to hold on. You want to hold on to your cash out there in Colombia, man. You don't want to be going to the ATM every day. What's the fee at the ATM again, Mick? 18%.
Yeah, 18.
So that's like $5, close to $5 on your money. So you want to hold your cash. So in my opinion, just use Uber or Cabify or InDriver. Just use one of them. Avoid the taxes, man.
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat talked about the grocery store Exito and the women there.
Oh man, dude, the women in the meat section in the Exito.
Exito is their supermarket.
Yeah, Exito's their supermarket. It's like their Walmart, right? Kind of like how Walmart is. You got everything there.
Well, it's not that grimy as Walmart. It's a little bit more.
Oh, so it's more like it's not like Costco's. It's hard to.
It's like a Target. It's like a Target.
It's like a Target. There you go. Perfect. It's like a Target.
Yeah.
Dude, all working in these little sections are beautiful women that going to tell you, and they're just going to be looking at you, staring at you, bro. I got a couple of numbers. They be fine as hell. Just imagine walking through Target and seeing Beyonce or Rihanna, working in Target or something like that, to the equivalent, like just how fine they are.
Just a fair skin.
A fair skin, but approachable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter if she's 21, you 55, it don't fucking matter, bro. They are very approachable. Yeah, he says, Ash L. My brother Ash L says, taxi driver took my money and didn't want to give me my change in Medellin. That Cambio, man, that change is something else. This is why I don't even like pulling out cash. I tell guys all the time, I really don't try to pull out too much cash when I'm out and about. With the taxis, man, they never going to have enough change. You're going to always have to kind of round it off basically. If the ride is 10 million pesos, they ain't gonna have change. If you got 20, they ain't gonna have no change. You know, so
yeah.
Keep that in mind. That's why it's better to do Uber or Cabify, do everything online. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If you're gonna take a cab, have plenty of change because guarantee you, they're not gonna have it.
This dude don't believe hype. Well, his name is Don't Believe Hype, so that lets you know. Medellin sucks in my opinion. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
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 mean-
Okay. We don't want us to go there, right? Okay. All right.
I mean, everybody have different experience, but hey, I'm of mine, so I love it. I'll be returning back soon.
Mm-hmm.
Ash L says I still love Dominicans though. Yeah, I
For
got.
sure.
Yeah, I got love. I got a place for them also, but not as close as my the Colombian women now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody said what Dominican women are like just Keisha who speaks Spanish, Lakeisha
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But then again, I mean, I just don't want to put down Dominican. You know, the whole DR. So it's a large island.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just Susua just puts a little damper on the whole country.
Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that.
You know,
I can agree with that.
I'm sure there's some great women in the DR
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't discovered yet.
There you go. And a brother asked me, not online, but in the Facebook group, how should brothers dress out there? What's your opinion on that? Like t-shirt, jeans, we going out?
It's wow. I mean, Medellin is another big city. It's just a large city. I don't want to say New York, is because it's not that congested like New York,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just as live as New York. But you want to dress. I mean, I did notice that it was strange. It would rain at night, and then it'd be sunny during the day. It was weird, but if you're it depends what time of the year you're traveling because this is their fall, so they told me it's going to get a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were down there, we just had our regular It was casual. We just casual. You don't have to put on your Steve Harvey suit when you go out there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to put on your hard bottoms on. It's very casual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I would approach it. Casual, shirts. If you want to have throw a couple of buttons in there, button-down shirts, that's fine. I wouldn't dress to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's right. It's just
yeah, man.
Yeah, and it's very laid back and it's very casual. And I'm talking about the Parque Lleras area.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Parque Lleras, I was telling them about our little routine, and if you're a new time traveler there, it's pretty cool. We hit Hooters up for a couple hours during the evening, early evening. Then we go to Donna Su Madre. Then from there we might go to Gusto. Was it Gusto's or Gusto's? One of them Gusto's.
Gusto's. Yeah. Hooters served as our ground zero, just like our meeting spot. Like, hey, to warm up. Mm-hmm. Like you said earlier, to meet other fellow travelers. It was just a warm-up spot, to get it cracking. And then after that, we'll go over to Donde Su Madres, which is more like a bar lounge, where you can have drinks. And if you're into hookahs, you can have a hookah. And mind you, Charles said, "Don't wear shorts if you don't want to scream as a tourist." Yeah, true.
Because we threw on jeans like almost every night we went out.
Right, we had long pants, but in that whole village, I mean, I consider it like a little village. There's so many bars and restaurants and lounges in that area. Everything for your budget to high end. Mm-hmm. It's places in that one little area that it's going to take more than a week to see all those places. But Donde Su Madre was a cool, relaxing lounge place where you hear music.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of small, but uh, you just have cool drinks and have a good time. Enjoy the music, smoke hookah if you're into hookahs. It has it.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. They have like a special little drink at Donde Su Madre. Do you remember what it was called? I don't remember what it
Oh
was
man,
called.
yeah, I forgot what it's called. It was very good.
Yeah, it's very good, man. So once we leave Donde Su Madre, it's I keep saying Gustos. Yeah, Gustos.
Yeah, it was Gustos or Lleras Park.
Right. Now,
Uh,
what's your thoughts on Gusto? Because I enjoy myself in Gustos, okay? But I'm not,
so again,
participating in none of the business transactions. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So only point of reference I can use is my experience in Sosua
Mm-hmm.
in DR. And I kind of equate Gustos to Classico, but on a larger scale. And pretty much you got nines and tens walking around there in
Mm-hmm.
Gustos. And yeah, and pretty much, yeah, if nine and tens, those mangoes, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty penny
Right,
for
right,
those
right.
mangoes in Gustos. And
Mm-hmm.
and it's consistent with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's and then there's some guys who don't mind, hey, who don't mind that, but
Mm-hmm.
the mangoes there in Gustos, don't get me wrong, there's some nines and tens in there. And from what I understand, and because of the COVID-19, it wasn't even packed. And it was
Mm-hmm.
still some nines and tens in there. People were
Mm-hmm.
telling us, like, if we would have came there before pre-COVID, it would have been like monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but right across the street from Gustos is Lleras Park.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I kind of equate that to Merengue Club, which is like right below Classico, that little area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very similar to that. So that's where you can find your, it's some good mangoes in there. That's where you want to do if you want to do your bargain hunt.
Yeah, that's more like a burger atmosphere because as soon as you sit down, they're gonna bring you.
Yeah,
You pretty much gotta buy a bottle. They
yeah.
hawking
I kind
bottles
of
in
equate
there.
that. Yeah, I kind of equate that to Rumbas and
Yeah.
Merengue
And
Club.
anybody that knows me, I don't really like staying in one place in a long time enough to drink a whole entire bottle. So, you know, I'm not really that's not really a spot for me personally. Like I say, I don't like to be forced on drinking the whole goddamn bottle in one spot. I like to move around a little bit.
Right, right.
Now after Gustos, it's like what? Just everybody's just mobbing out, right? It's just the streets are just packed, filled with
It
women,
is.
tourists,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Now
Because
this is where you want to be careful too. We're gonna get on safety in a second, Mick, but go ahead.
no. It's yeah. We have to because that's at 12 o'clock. Everything was shutting down at 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, I mean, people did go to other spots after, like to the strip clubs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
After that was held later on. But I didn't partake in that.
Right. Because it's like a nice little vibe, when everything closes down, you can basically sit at like the little small little restaurants, right? And
Right, you still hang out. You can still
you still
loiter
hang
around.
out. Yeah. You pretty much in the little streets, the police are not really trying to push you off. If you sit in an establishment, you're good. You're trying to get the traffic out the street as far as the walking traffic. But
Right.
in this process, you want to be very careful, fellas, because it's going to be
True.
crowded. And that's just when you get pickpocket. You can get lightweight robbed. The police are around, but it's not enough of them because it's such a crowd. So watch everybody bumping into you. I did catch a guy trying to possibly snatch my cell phone.
Right. Yeah, I
So
remember.
yeah, so I gave him a little look. He said some silly stuff,
That's
but
what-
I'm like, dude, you ain't brother, you ain't not today.
So
You feel me?
again, I'm not saying I ain't trying to scare brothers out there, but it's just like
Right,
in Medellin again, it's a city.
right,
Parque Lleras is a tourist area, so of course they're going to attract people who are kind of grimy, come to an area where tourists are and try to keep people slipping. you know, and you know, and you know, us visitors, as tourists, you know, we want to come to a country, we subconsciously kind of drop our guard because we're not in the country no more. But you shouldn't drop your guard. Just be mindful that when you're in a different country, no matter if you anywhere, that should be your rule of thumb. I know when we go to a different country, we want to relax, you know, but I'm telling you, the natives there, they can spot a tourist a mile away, and that's all they look forward to.
Right. You want to keep it moving at the end of the night. Let's put it that way. You know, you want to keep it moving. Go ahead and sit down in one of their little small little I can't really call it a restaurant, like a diner, kind of like smaller diners they have open still.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just park yourself out in a little diner. You can eat, you can drink beer on the table. You know, you can kind of do your thing in the little bar. You can still participate in the nightly activities of seeing, you know, what your entertainment could possibly be. Okay,
so you can still have a good time. I mean,
you still have a good time. We just want you to be mindful that, you know, you're gonna have and the girls will tell you that. A cool girl will tell you that, because the girl I was with was like, yo, let's go, you know, let's keep it moving, because they be robbing, they be pickpocketing. And one of our friends from Texas got pickpocketed the first night he was out there. Remember? He was telling you about it?
He was telling us about that.
You and know, this dude, hey, listen, so I ain't gonna put my boy name out there, but my dude is an ex-athlete, you feel me? So even though he big, you know, he was a quarterback in college, like a D1 school. And I didn't think the dude was gonna know that the brother was about 6'4", 6'3", something like that. Still got a little legs on him, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody bumped into him, you know, got a cell phone and kind of like, you know, briskly walked off, and Buddy started chasing him, and would have caught him if Buddy didn't, you know, whip around. But when he was chasing him, the police saw it, and the police got dude. And then, do you remember what he told us? What happened next?
Oh, when the police grabbed him?
The police grabbed him, right? This is how police in Colombia get down. Police grabbed him, put him on the ground and just rock him. Just pow!
It worked him over. You know, it worked him over.
Just worked him over right in front of him. Like, yeah, you want to take somebody, you want to pickpocket somebody? Why?
I mean, I think it's one thing we have to understand is that, you know, for the most part, police they want to err on the side of protecting tourists, because, you know, tourists is part of their economy. So they don't want anything to discourage, you know, tourists to come back to their country, because it messes up their economy. I mean, tourism is a big part of their economy. So, I mean, you know, they're going to subdue those riffraffs so it doesn't impact their tourism. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just bottom line, you know, I mean, I get it. I mean, you come to a different country, you want to relax, you can, but just, you know, mind your P's and Q's.
And did you bring, like, at night when we going out, did you bring your wallet or anything with you?
No. I didn't bring my wallet.
Right.
Or my ID, you know. But hey, you know.
Because like I say, the pickpockets. So right. You want to bring, you know, a little cash. You know, you can put it in your, you know, the bottom of your cell phone or something like that, or have a cell phone wallet. You know.
Normally I carry like a color copy of my passport, a copy around, and I keep the original passport at the crib.
Yeah, my boy had the what was it, the mobile? Yeah, the mobile passport, the global entry. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
What you have, bro?
So definitely, if you're definitely a traveler in the game, it's called mobile passport. Basically, you can bypass the immigration part when you go back to the country. So it's just an app. Some people use global entry, so it just lets you bypass the large lines.
Right.
Pretty much like I have TSA pre-check as well.
Right. So just imagine, my boy tell me he had all this. So we in the airport, you know, we chopping up and everything, and then the guy's like,
we're on our way back. We're on our way back to the States.
He's like, hey, I got it. I'm like, what you mean, dog? He just vamp out on my ass. I'm like, all right, I see how you getting down on me.
Yeah, it's an app called it's an app called Mobile Passport. I highly recommend getting it so you could bypass, when you return back into the United States, you take a shorter line through immigration. You don't have to wait in a long line with everyone else, and or you get global entry.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. A lot of the pilots have global entry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I apply for global entry. I just need to go pick it up. But mobile passport is good.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. We've been flowing for a while here, about an hour and some change.
Yeah.
Medellin. Why are you deciding? I'm gonna put my stamp on it too. But why are you deciding to go back to Medellin so fast, so quickly?
So quickly?
Yeah.
It's a number of reasons. One, it's a very relaxing place.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The people are friendly and nice. Yeah. I mean, it just it hit on so many cylinders for me to go back. Place is beautiful. It's cheap. The women are beautiful and nice and friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like, hey, you know what? While I have the opportunity, let me do a rerun real quick, a quick rewind. And now that I got one trip under my belt, hey, it's gonna be easier for me to maneuver each time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. Guys, I was a DR guy, man. I love the Dominican Republic still, not just Sosua. I love San Domingo, Santiago, and everything. But it's good to just switch it up, have a new experience. The people of Colombia are very nice and genuine, very friendly, very open. We hung out with them, went to bars with them, had a great time. It wasn't no type of monetary reason they're hanging out with you or anything like that. Just good vibes, man. The whole trip. The women are the women everywhere. I'm gonna put it that way. Women are the women everywhere. But Colombia, because of that Latin romantic culture, man, they are very sensual. Yeah, very passionate, man. You want to dance with them, they're gonna want to kiss on you. I think me and my boy got put on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. And I'm saying, we trying to tell the girls, no, man, don't put us on social media, but that's just how they roll, Before you know it, your ass will be on Snapchat or Facebook, And the cool thing I like about the girls, how in the States, right? Say it's you and your man chilling, and your girl come over, right? And I'm just sitting there. Well, it's gonna be like a what they call it, a third party, right? It's gonna be uncomfortable. Like I'm about to leave or something. In Colombia, she gonna call her friend, her sister. We had one with a twin sister. You know what I'm saying? remember the twins? So
the twins, yeah.
Every time they would come, either I would bring a friend or I would bring a girl, right? My boys chilling. They like, oh, you want a friend? You want my friend? You want to meet my sister? You want to meet my cousin? They always trying to hook, the other guy up. It's never a third wheel situation. And even if it's a third wheel, the girl be so cool, she gonna just party and entertain both of you. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I love about the culture of Colombia, man. They want to make sure you're comfortable. They want to show you their beautiful culture. The food is good. It's cheap. I think that at one point I wasn't really worried about how many Uber trips we were taking, but when we looked at our statements, how much was the Ubers, dog? Tell them how much the Ubers were.
What, $2?
$1.50, $1.75.
I felt so bad. Like, man, I had to tip this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had to tip the Uber guy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, man, it's a beautiful place. And yeah, you're right, Charles. Global entries, yeah. But yeah, man, it's just good time, man, and it's a win-win. Period.
Mm-hmm. It's a W, brothers.
Does
it get your stamp? Does it get your Blackmentravels stamp?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It gets my stamp on it, bro. It's
Stamp
official.
on it. It's
Not
official.
just Medellin, but Colombia. Period.
Colombia period.
Whether you in Cartagena, where you decide to explore the little islands off the coast of Colombia, man. Just
Barranquilla.
because, Barranquilla, just because the genuineness of the people and the beautiful atmosphere, the weather is great, and the women, like always, they're gonna be women, but they're
Yeah,
like the
women gonna be
icing on the
women.
cake, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Well, all right, fellas. Appreciate you joining the show, listening to us, man. We probably gonna
Anytime.
do. I got a lot of videos coming. I got about 5 videos I'm gonna drop. I did an interview with a credit guy named Eli Williamson. He did a really good interview. So guys, be looking out for that. Make sure you share it and make sure you sub to the channel. Peace. Appreciate you coming on, Mick.
Hey, anytime, brother. I'll holler at you soon.
All right, cool.